Hey guys, it is Michael from StevensvilleGamers and welcome to the fastest video that you've ever seen going over the nerfs. Ready for this? Upcoming card changes and nerfs. Evil Miscreant going from 5 health, as you can see, to 4 health. Not a big change. It's going to get played. It's still going to pretty nicely. It'll still get witchy lackied. So this card is still gonna be played. This, I don't really see that this needed to be nerfed. They're saying is meant to have a high value generation that creates future swing turns, but having 5 health on this minion means players can sacrifice very little to set up those turns. Can you grant option for rogue decks to the pro level more blah blah blah. This is gonna be fine. This is not gonna take a hit, and it's gonna be totally fine. It's gonna still see play. It's still gonna do what it needs to do. Raiding Party. Raiding Party now costs 4 mana. This is a really big slowdown for Rogue, because what they did was they would prep Raiding Party. They would prep Raiding Party, and then they would get a free Raiding Party, and they would get 2 pirates, the 2 Dread Corsairs, and the Waggle Pick. Next turn they would play the Waggle Pick, break the Waggle Pick, the Leroy Jenkins bullshit that we all know and love. That is why Tempo Rogue was so broken. One of the reasons why Tempo Rogue was so broken. Plus Edwin Van Cleef, but they didn't really mess with Edwin Van Cleef, so that's fair enough. I think Raiding Party is still going to get played. This is just slowing it down. What they basically have done to Rogue, in my opinion, is that they have taken Rogue and they realize that it just dominates, and they are bringing it down a peg. Bringing Rogue down a peg right now basically means that it'll be at the same level as everything else. So everyone's saying Rogue is dead, Rogue is no longer viable. Rogue just slows down 1 or 2 turns, which gives other decks the ability to keep up with Rogue. So I think Rogue is still very, very strong, even with these nerfs. And we haven't even gone over the worst one, but I still think that the nerfs, that the Rogue nerfs are fine. They said that Rogue already excels at drawing cards, so having another powerful option that offers consistent results as a result of has resulted in Rogue games that play out a little too similarly than we think is fun. Yes, you prep Raiding Party, Waggle Pick, Dread Corsair, Droid Corsair. We already know that. Like I said, Raiding Party is still going to get played. It's just going a little bit slower. Preparation is the big one. Preparation has been a staple for almost all Rogue decks for a very long time, especially Tempo Rogue. Going from 3 to 2, the discount, I should say, is going from 3 to 2. Once again, this is a huge deal, I would say, in the longevity of the game. Future Tempo Rogue decks will always be a little bit slower now because of preparation. You can no longer prep Fan of Knives. You can no longer prep you can no longer prep the prior version of Raiding Party. You can no longer prep Sprint on turn 4. You now have to prep Sprint turn 5. You can no longer prep Coin, Fan of Knives, Edwin Van Cleef, or something like that. I don't even know how they do the 10-10 Van Cleefs. But preparation will forever be in my heart as one of the best Rogue cards, and probably one of the best cards in the game considering the way that Rogue plays. But that being said, again, Rogue is at this level right now, and the rest of the decks are like at this level right now. These Rogue nerfs, especially the prep nerf, will make Rogue slow down and come down here and hopefully match with the rest of the decks, so there's actual competitive viability to other things, and not Rogue just dominating the ladder and dominating the competitive scene, because it is so good right now. I think that these changes are healthy. I see a lot of people saying Rogue is dead, Rogue is broken, they destroyed Rogue, they eviscerated Rogue, they took Rogue's guts and fucking ate them. But I disagree. I feel like this was a good change. Rogue dominated everything, and yeah, these Rogue changes Evil Miscreant, not so much. I think the Evil Miscreant, the health wasn't really the issue. If they would have upped the mana cost, I think they would have definitely destroyed Evil Miscreant, but they lowered its health, and that 4 health range is easier to kill. So, I think the Evil Miscreant is fine. It doesn't need to stick around, but it's a good body. And they made it just a little bit worse of a body, which I don't think is that big of a deal. Raiding Party, definitely a huge hit, and Preparation, definitely a huge hit. But those huge hits, when in comparison to the rest of the Rogue scheme, Rogue is a very, very good class right now, and Rogue has always been a pretty decent class in recent years, with Tempo Rogue always being at least somewhat prevalent, tier 2-ish, because of Edwin Van Cleef and Preparation and being able to do like prep, sprint, coin, just a whole bunch of stuff all in one turn, and then being able to drop giant Edwins, maybe not prep sprint, but prep something else, Edwin Van Cleef kind of situations. I think that they should have nerfed Edwin Van Cleef and left some of these other cards alone. Maybe instead of getting +2/+2, you get +1/+1 for every card. And I think that they really hit around the problem. I think that Edwin Van Cleef could have been brought down to, instead of getting +2/+2, you get +1/+1. Edwin Van Cleef, yeah, combo game +2/+2. Yeah, if they just make him gain +1/+1 for every card instead of +2/+2, then maybe I think that Edwin Van Cleef would be more in check, and in turn Tempo Rogue would be more in check, and you don't need to touch Prep, Raiding Party, or Evil Miscreant. Even though maybe Preparation should have been nerfed anyway. What they are saying is all changes we make to basic and classic cards are aimed to ensure Hearthstone's long-term health. Preparation is currently seen as such a powerful card that it appears in nearly every single Rogue deck. You are absolutely correct. That said, the changes we have landed on this is a small one. It's not a small one. It's a huge one. While we do want the card's power to decrease, we also think it is important for Preparation to remain a reasonable option since it fits the Rogue class fancy so very well. You're absolutely correct. You definitely slashed Preparation by a 33.3% because it's going down by a third. Hey, math. Archivist Elysiana. I've never had this card played against me in my hundreds of games of Hearthstone with the new set out. I've never had this played against me, but I know why people are very angry at this. At the high level competitive scene and high level in the ladder, you see a lot of Archivist Aviana into Youthful Brewmaster and stuff like that. This way, they cannot Baleful Banker, Youthful Brewmaster, Archivist Aviana, Archivist Elysiana back to their hand or into their deck the same turn that they play her. Basically, our goal is to preserve the feeling of power level of Archivist Elysiana when it comes to general use, while making it much more difficult to play her multiple times in the same game. Shaman will still be able to replay Elysiana through Shutterwalk, but this is not as common or problematic as what we've seen in Control Warrior decks. Exactly. In Control Warrior decks, Baleful Banker, Youthful Brewmaster should be less constant strategy. They said it in their little post. They are absolutely correct. I've never had this issue, but I know that this was a definite issue that people were vocalizing about. Therefore, they have changed it, and that is fine. You should not be able to play 5 legendaries. The original, 2 Youthful Brewmaster, 2 Baleful Banker. That seems ridiculous, and they have made that so that can no longer happen as consistently. You can always hold the coin, which if that's a permanent, if holding the coin for that long is a part of your strategy, then that makes the coin basically useless every other turn. So your opponent doesn't have to play around the coin options. But this is fine. I think this is totally okay. And as always, as with previous card changes, once these changes are live, players will be able to disenchant the updated cards for a full arcane dust value for 2 weeks. Make sure you craft and decraft everything to get your dust, boys. And that is going to conclude my nerfs video. A little over 10 minutes. Very proud of myself, very quickly. And yeah, I think Prep is the most noticeable nerf I don't think Rogue is dead. I think Rogue will be totally fine. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out all the links in the description down below. Social media, Discord, all of that. Check it out. And, oh yeah. I usually try streaming every single day except for Sunday, so come join me in the evenings. I usually am live streaming on YouTube or Twitch. Check out the social media to know which one I'll be doing, and join the Discord, links in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, and if you have not done so already, subscribe.